Hello friends, myself Parag Dhankar. I am engineer by education and teacher by profession. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It may help you. This channel is all about different ideas, different thoughts that often help us in dealing with different situations, facing difficult situations, being positive in difficult situation. Now today I am going to share with you one concept, one idea. But before I tell you about the idea, let me share with you one incident that happened recently. One of my friend called me and he started discussing about a project he wanted to work on. The project was based upon an idea. Of course, that project, that idea, it wasn't a business idea, it was a kind of creative idea. Of course, we entered into discussion. I told him my opinion that this is a very good idea, and given your inclination, your hobbies and your interest, you will definitely do justice to this project. This idea is really good. You can do well. But of course, why he asked me the question or what actually he wanted, it was my opinion whether he should start working on the idea right now. So idea was good. So finally it came to after the discussion that yes, the idea is good and all, but whether to start working on the idea, whether to start the project or not. Then that was what we finally need to discuss. Then I just suggested him, rather than discussing other issues, let us try to explore your idea, your project using three different questions. The first question is, what are your responsibilities? The second question is, what are your priorities? And the third question is, what are your possibilities? Now, because he was a very good friend of mine, I knew him very well. I told him, come on, see, when it comes to responsibilities, you have responsibility of your parents. There are some health issues, you have to take care of them. This is a pandemic situation, so you have to take care of your health also. You have to be careful about COVID appropriate behavior. You have a social responsibility also, that you should not be the source of infection to others. So primarily your responsibility is to focus on the health of your and your family. Now let us come to the priorities. See, you are new to the job. I knew he recently switched job. He is just less than 1 year into this new job. So I told him, see, this is your new job. If you want to make an impact, if you want to prove your worth, if you want to prove to your boss that you are a value addition to your organization, then you need time and you have to work hard. So 1 year is not enough, and that too again against the backdrop of pandemic, you need 1 more year at least to prove that you are worth, you are a good value addition to the company. So you have to focus on your job. And one more thing is, many people have lost job. So your priority is to save the job, to prove that you are valuable to the organization. So that is your priority. Now comes the possibility. Now whatever you are talking about, the project or the idea that you want to work with, it falls in this category. But that project is a time consuming project. You will have to invest a lot of time in it. It will consume a lot of energy. Now if you focus on this creative idea, this project, then obviously you will be short of time for your responsibilities and priorities. So maybe the idea is good, you can definitely give justice to the idea, but time probably is not in your favor. Right now, your priorities and responsibilities, if you think about that, then this possibility of working on the project, in fact, interferes with your priorities and responsibilities. So maybe you should wait for the right time. Meanwhile, it is not that you should stop thinking about the project, you should not think about the idea. No, that's not the case. Whatever the background preparation that is required, because this project needs consistency. It is not a one-day wonder. You have to work on this consistently. So that's why whatever resources you need, whatever background preparation that is required, you should focus on that. So in my opinion, idea is good, the project is good, you can do it wonderfully, but probably the time is not in favor right now. Maybe you should wait little longer, and then you can start working on the project. Of course, then the discussion revolved around these three questions, and finally he was convinced. He also felt like he should start preparing. Preparation is okay whenever he's able to spare time, but right now starting the project or the working on the idea is out of question. He has to focus on responsibilities and priorities. Of course, now these three questions that I suggested him to explore before taking the final decision whether to start working on the project or not. These three questions, I did not frame these questions. I got this question, or I came to know about these questions in a podcast. If you have watched my success series, the fourth video, I have mentioned a conversation of leadership guru and author John Maxwell with Dr. Caroline Leaf in her podcast, Cleaning Up the Mental Mess. There, I have shared the cycle of success as proposed by John Maxwell. In the same podcast, this idea, these three questions are proposed. So what I feel about these three questions are, these three questions, though he talked about these questions with a context of pandemic. What happens in pandemic or what happens in crisis? Usually our mind is stuck in a frame. We find it difficult to take a decision what to do and what not to, what to avoid. So in that situation, these three questions help. So responsibility against the backdrop or against in the context of pandemic, it is all about healthcare. And he says priorities. What are your priorities? Priority is something, or the priorities are something what you do today, something that is really important. And if you do it today, it can give you returns tomorrow. So this is something, it is kind of investment for your future. You have to do it. It is extremely important. For your future, you have to do that. That is what the priority is. And then comes the possibility. Now, in the pandemic, the possibility, like nobody was allowed to go out. People were working from home. So the possibility is you have to think about the spare time. Now, there might be something like you wanted to read a book, you wanted to write a book, and you didn't get enough time to focus on that, then this is that opportunity for you. So the possibility is provided by the pandemic because you are at home. The possibility of sparing a lot of time for your family is provided by the pandemic. So this is the possibility. So what I liked about these three questions is, though these three questions are framed against or talked about against the backdrop of pandemic and where the decision is difficult or we find it difficult to have a clarity of thinking. Uncertainty will always be there. This is what John Maxwell says. But then clarity you must have. But these three questions can help us always. Whenever we are in a situation, whenever we find it difficult to take the call, whether I should start working on this or not, then maybe these three questions can help. Just think about your responsibilities, think about your priorities, and just think about the possibilities. Now my take on this is, if your possibility is what you want to work on. Now, if this possibility interferes with your priorities or responsibilities, if it invades your responsibilities, if it enters or it overlaps with your responsibilities, then you should wait. See, wait doesn't mean that the idea you want to work on is bad. No, you simply want to wait for the right time. Waiting for the right time does not mean that you should be idle. No, rather than that, you should gather from different resources whatever you need to start working on the project. So that background work in the spare time is essential and that is part of the possibilities, but actually starting on the project, probably you should wait little longer for the right time. So of course, these are the three questions. When our mind is stuck in a frame, it is a kind of intellectual tool, and whenever we are stuck in a frame of crisis or a dilemma where we find it difficult to take the decision, then these three questions can help. Of course, this is a kind of intellectual tool, but is it the only tool for this kind of situation? No. This is one of the tools. There are many tools. You can devise your own intellectual tool to take the decision or to think about a situation like this. But this is again one of the ideas, one of the concept, an intellectual tool to deal with a situation. Because, and of course, as I have always referred to in previous videos also, an idea, a concept, a thought, as it is that it will work for you, probably it's not possible. Actually, you have to modify the idea, you may have to improvise it, and then you can apply it to your situation. But in any way, these are the ideas, these are the tools that can help us dealing with the situation. So in this video, I just wanted to share these three questions. So whenever you are in a situation where you are finding it difficult to take the decision whether to start working on the project, working on the idea, just ask yourself these three questions. What are your responsibilities? What are your priorities? And what are your possibilities? Ask these questions, honestly explore these questions, and take the final call. And of course, this may help you, but if somebody comes to you for a counsel, then give him the audience, then tell him these three questions, let him ask himself these three questions. So let him explore these three questions and take the final decision. So it helps us, it has helped me, it has helped my friend, so it can help others also. So ultimately the call is yours. If you feel that this is a good idea, this is a good intellectual tool, maybe you can share it with your friends. But as I again tell, be ready, be flexible to modify it little bit so that it fits into your context, it fits into your situation. So dear friends, in this video, this is what I wanted to share with you. Hope you like this. It may help you, it may help your friend. So like my video, subscribe to my channel, share this concept, share this idea, share this video with your friends, and I'm sure it will help them also. And maybe with the help of these tools, you may have your own tool to deal with the situation. So thank you very much friends for watching my video. Thank you so much.